Hey everybody, I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. I am here to do a contest entry for my very good friend Chris Propfe over at Chris Propfe Musically Obsessed. Chris is one of my best friends. Um, he has a fantastic channel, definitely one of the best in the vinyl community. Um, I just I don't know what to say. I really like everything about his channel. I like the way he discusses records. I like the fact that he's very eclectic, which I can be kind of eclectic myself. So I really appreciate that. I also feel kind of, even though, Chris is younger than me, but I feel like he's a bit of an old soul. And I feel like that myself sometimes. So I really get along with Chris really well, and he also has a very good sense of humor. Um, he cracks me up every time I'm around him. So, and I was lucky enough I got to meet him and go out to dinner and have a couple drinks. So that was fantastic. That was really great. Anyway, he is having a contest, and it is just I think just to celebrate the vinyl community. So let's go over it. First thing he wants us to do is to show an album from 1974. I am going to show Bridge of Sighs by Mr. Robin Trower. Of course, Robin started out in Procol Harum, went solo. This is probably his most famous album, I would think. And this is fantastic. If you don't already own it, I would definitely recommend picking it up. You can find a used copy like this. It is what I would call psychedelic blues. Robin Trower is a fantastic guitar player, and this is just such a good listen. So that's from 1974. Now he wants us to show one from 1988. I am going to go with Kingdom Come. This is their debut album. I think most of you are familiar with it, but if you're not, definitely give this a listen. It has a bit of a Led Zeppelin feel to it. They were kind of accused of being Led Zeppelin clones, but you go back and listen to it now, and it's really not. It's just a very good rock and roll record, and I definitely would recommend listening to it. So that's from 1988. And let's see. Next up, we have show 3 albums that are very important to us. So I went a little different route than maybe what I normally would do. And the first thing I picked up is the records that I used to get before I was maybe buying musical records. And I have the chilling, thrilling sounds of the haunted house. This, of course, is by Walt Disney. So many famous sound effects are on here that would be used on the radio over the years. I would hear them. I have always been a big lover of Halloween. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always loved Halloween. So around Halloween time, I would try to find one of these type of records. And I still have a few of them left, including this one. I love old horror movies. Not gory ones, but just old horror movies, and especially supernatural ones. So I always love this kind of stuff around Halloween time. Next up, probably one of my very first music albums that I got, and that would be Jim Stafford. So this was important to me because this was before I got into Kiss, even as a kid, and it's very eclectic. Very eclectic album. It's all over the place. Chris would appreciate that fact. Of course, he had a hit back in the 70s called Spiders and Snakes, and I even have a Jim Stafford 45. But he's got other songs on here, including a nice rendition of Mr. Bojangles. One of my favorite songs on here is Swamp Witch. Starts out, it says, Blackwater Hattie lived back in the swamps where the strange green reptiles crawl. Snakes hang thick from the cypress trees like sausage on a smokehouse wall. Well, the swamp is alive with 1,000 eyes, and all of them watching you. Keep off the track to Hattie's shack in the back of the Black Bayou. Now, what kid wouldn't like that? A song about a witch, about a swamp witch. So that was great. That was a big influence on me. I still like that record. And then, another one that's important to me, not really so much this particular record, but this is One of These Nights by the Eagles. And the Eagles, in a way, it's kind of funny because they make me think of my dad, because it was one of the only times when I was young, my dad would always let me play my music and stuff. And one time, I remember he was downstairs, my room was upstairs, he could hear music playing, and I happened to be playing the Eagles at that time, as opposed to some of the other stuff I played. And he actually said, "What was that you were listening to?" And I said, "That was the Eagles, Dad." And he said, "That wasn't too bad." It was one of the only times he ever commented on any music like that I listened to and said anything positive. He really didn't care about music that much, and he really couldn't stand any of the music I listened to, but he tolerated it. He let me play it. So that makes me think of my dad. Let's see, what else? Crap. Okay, just a second here. So the next question that Chris asked in his contest, which I don't know why, I think he's just being nosy on this one, but he wanted to know what we use for inner sleeves on records, which I like these. These are Big Fudge inner sleeves, and that's what they look like. They're kind of like those MoFi ones. I'm pretty happy with these. I think that's probably what I will stick with. Now, when it comes to he also wants to know what you use for outer sleeves. Now that I don't have any one particular brand. I have used different ones. Right now, I have these. These are only 2 mil. And you seal them. You put the record in there and you seal them. But not all of mine are in this. And the next time I get a batch, it might not be the same ones. I am not that particular yet. I know I should be. Okay, next up, last question. How long have you been in the VC? I have been in the VC for about a year now. Not quite. I'm not sure the exact date, but I think I started in August. So anyway, that's how long it's been. That's all the questions in this contest. Please, if you're not by chance, subscribe to Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed. Please go subscribe him and check out his channel, because like I said, it's one of the best. So till the next time, my friends, I'm Gary. This is Physical Format Rock and Roll, and I will see you down the road.